You're watching TVC News at 7. After 5 years, it's justice at last for Ese Oruru as abductor Yinusa Dahiru has been sentenced to 26 years in jail. The long-awaited judgment was delivered this morning by Justice Jane Inyang. Mr. Dahiru was acquitted on count 1, which is abduction, but convicted on count 2, child trafficking, count 3, illicit sex, and count 4, sexual exploitation, as well as count 5, unlawful carnal knowledge of Ms. Oruru, who was 13 years old at the time of the incident in 2015. She was abducted from Bayelsa, taken to Kano State, where Mr. Dahiru forced her into marriage.
The part of the judgment that said the sentence should run consecutively, that's the only aspect I'm not comfortable with. Though we had some challenges during the course of the trial, there are 6 other witnesses we needed to have called in this matter. 2 of them residents here, 4 of them in Kano, but none of them was available.
The very little girl kidnapped out of Bayelsa State came in I would like to say a battered situation, because she came in with pregnancy, a very little girl. And so we said that justice must be done in this case. That is why we followed this case of Abuja, Owerri, and at the end of the day, today the justice we are seeking for has been done.
My message for pedophiles out there is that, it's to serve as a serious deterrent to perpetrators out there, and justice was fair enough in this matter.
This case is really will serve a deterrent to others who have been trafficking people's children, and I thank God that the truth has prevailed today. And thank God and my family.
Annkio Briggs is a human rights and minority rights activist who has followed this case passionately since inception. She joins me now live on the news at 7. It's good to see you, Annkio Briggs.
Thank you very much.
In 2016, you alleged the lack of diligent prosecution of Yinusa Dahiru, charging the police to live up to expectation by drafting more lawyers in order to beef up the legal team to prosecute the case. Did the police listen, and what exactly happened thereafter?
Well, I don't know that the police listened, but the point is that definitely the prosecutors in Bayelsa State, it has taken 5 years for this little girl, who is now a growing young lady, and her parents to get justice. It was really horrific what happened to her. You have to be a parent but we really must begin to be serious about guarding against this sort of things. I mean, look at the charges. Kidnapping, definitely. I agree with the father. His daughter was kidnapped. There is no other way to look at it. Then the charge of child trafficking, she was taken across. Illicit sex, she was definitely raped. He had carnal knowledge of her at a child. She was a child, So I really am happy for the parents, because I know personally the efforts that these poor parents put into the process to get justice for their daughter and themselves. Because if they had not done that, this case would have gone like all the other cases. I'm
Absolutely.
sure you guys are aware. Yeah, go on.
Just like you said, it took 5 years to have a conviction in this case. But justice delayed is not justice denied in this case. Do you agree?
Yes, oh, definitely, I agree. Even the prosecutors have really tried, and the parents have tried. They have stood the test of time. The mother went ahead immediately to Kano at the risk of her life, a place where she had never been before. She could have been killed. She was actually threatened. The father as well. And quite honestly, at the time, I said that both the Bayelsa State government and the little girl's home state of where she comes from, which is Delta State, definitely let this little girl down, because I personally do not believe at the time that they played the sort of role that they should have played. they tried to douse the tension as if it was a political issue. They
All right.
moved it to
Just very quickly, Annkio
protest
Briggs.
it.
So 13-year-old Ese came in February 2016. She was reportedly 5 months old pregnant. Did you follow up with her? What exactly is the situation with the young girl now?
Well, I mean, I'm sure you know that they eventually left Bayelsa because when they came back, they were shielded. She was shielded. Of what I am aware of, the Bayelsa State government and the police at that time shielded her in the police officers' quarters and housed them there and promised them all kinds of stuff, which at the end of the day did not materialize. And they left Bayelsa definitely not fully satisfied with the way that they were treated. And like I said, you know, the cost that this little girl paid. What stuck in my mind was the photograph and the anger on her face when she was brought to Abuja and on her way to Port Harcourt and onward to Bayelsa. I think that picture stuck in my head because that shows you that she was taken against her will, and she's a strong, you could see she was very, very strong. And so
it's a good place to leave it now. We have to go. Human rights activist Annkio Briggs, thank you so much for your time.